Alright, welcome back class. I think the last video we worked on was to make a color wheel, but I believe the video cut off before I did that last color, which was violet. So I'm just going to finish that part and then we'll get into the next part of the lesson, which is going to be a monochrome color scale, and it's going to show you how to modify local color with white and black, so you can get those tints and shades that we made with the black and white apple and that grayscale. First, I just want to finish up this color. So I had a little bit of trouble getting it cool enough, so I added some alizarin, crimson, and a little bit more blue. And then I just matched it up. So that's pretty close to the color on the color wheel. So you can always use that to judge your colors. So that's what a finished color wheel should look like when you're done. You'll have all your primaries, secondaries, and tertiaries. So let's move on to the next part of our lesson, which is that monochrome color scale. And you could use any color that you want. In this case, I'm going to use blue as my local color that I'm going to be modifying with black and white. So here is an example. It hasn't been finished, but you have your local color in the middle, your white, and your black. So I have a template I'll be sending you out that has this, and you can use that same method that we used the last time with the carbon paper if you have it, or if you don't, you could just do a freehand sketch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you got 7 boxes. So I'll do a 7-inch scale for the length, and then it's about 1 inch for vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you could just divide it up into 1-inch squares. Just like so. And I'm just using a ruler to get straighter lines. So there's your freehand sketch, but just to save time, I'm going to start working on the one I already have ready. So here we go. So I'm going to start with the blue in the middle, and this is called hue. And that means that is the color without anything added to it, no white or black or any other colors. That's the pure color that comes right out of the stick. So on your color wheel, this would be a hue, and that's the name of the color, which in this case is blue. So on the extreme end, I have white, which is a tint. And you use white to make it lighter. Then on the other extreme end, I have black. I think I will start by making it lighter. So I'm going to start in this box right next to the hue. Just with some blue. Try to give it a little bit of firm pressure. And I'm just going to gradually add a little bit of white. A little softer pressure, and then go ahead and blend. And you definitely want to see a difference between these two. So I need to add some more white to this. Okay, so you can see this is darker, this is getting lighter as we're getting closer to the white. So these are called tints. Okay. Add some more white, blend, and again, compare what you have. Each time you get closer to the white, you should be getting a lighter value. So you want to see a change in value for each square. Okay, so maybe that was a bit of a abrupt jump, so I will darken that down just with a little bit of blue. So here's the progression from the hue to the tints. So now I'm going to move on to the shades, and that is going to create a darker value on that value scale. Just going to add a little bit of black to that blue. So again, we want it to be very subtle and incremental for the value shift. So got a little bit maybe too dark. I'm going to tone it down and add just a little bit of blue on top of that black just to lighten it back up a little. Maybe something like that. So let's move on. And it doesn't have to be perfect, it's just an exercise to show you how to make colors lighter and darker, so when you get into your apple still life with the color, you'll know how to darken your colors. So don't stress about it too much, about staying inside the lines or being, perfect. So again, you want to make sure there's a big, not big difference, but at least a noticeable difference between these squares as we're getting closer to that black. So, just maybe a little light overlay. So now I can clearly see this value is darker than that one, and this is your darkest value, so that's much darker than this one. So that concludes our lesson on the monochromatic color scale. And if you look on your color wheel, if you have one, it has a little cheat sheet. See, this is the front and this is the back. It has a little cheat sheet here with your local color, an example of a tint. I'll bring this a little bit closer. And also an example of a shade, as well as an